Hey yo, it's May the 18th, 2016. I want to make this video as a response.
To another video, and I left a link to that previous video down there at the bottom. It's from Tommy Sotomayor, Mr. Madness. Alright? And he covered it, one of these current events. You know, what's popping in the streets. Just to be brief, Ciara, the singer, basically has been up in court recently, and she was trying to get all sort of child support to the tune of, if Tommy is correct, about $20,000 a month, while also trying her best to deny her baby's daddy, Future, who I'm vaguely familiar with, to deny him any right to see his child, any sort of custody at all. Alright? I want to begin this video bringing up something that, I bring up from time to time, in my personal life and conversations and things, and lots of times people cannot understand me. They are lots of times unwilling to understand where it is I'm coming from. When I mention to them that child support, law-enforced child support, serves nobody at all, including the child. It does not benefit the child, alright, at all. And a lot of people, of course, like I say, will not understand. They will jump to the conclusion, oh, what, you think it's cool to be a deadbeat daddy or a deadbeat mommy out there and just not give no money to your children and stuff, and you think it's cool to run out on them, not give them no money? That's exactly what I was not saying at all. And it's funny because I didn't even, whenever I bring it up, I'm not implying that at all. Very careful to say, but it falls on deaf ears. Children need money in the same way that human beings need money, right? They got bills to pay and things to buy. So yeah, they need money. This is not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is very clear. Child support, enforced by the law, the government, does not benefit anyone, including and especially the child. Alright? Right here's a perfect example. You got Future and Ciara, and they made a baby and stuff, right? Baby's a couple years old now. How in the world? I mean, let's just picture this right now. You know who Ciara is. You can assume she has money. You can assume that she has more money than you, by herself. Apparently she is dating this football player. You might assume the football player has even more money. Way more money than you do. Yet and still with all this money, somehow, some way, she's got it into her brain that her child somehow needs, on top of her money, on top of the boyfriend's money, $20,000 a month. Alright, explain that to me logically. How's that even possible? Name one kid who absolutely, positively needs $20,000 a month, or else they will die, or else they will not grow up. I'm sure there's some kids out there with very serious medical issues, so that might be the case. Other than that, you cannot name a kid. It does not make sense. It's just yet another example of this system run amok. It's preposterous. This is what I mean. I mean, you give a moose a muffin, guess what? That moose is going to want jelly. This is the reason why I say it is ridiculous to impose a law-enforced child support. I mean, the system, even if it did make sense, the system itself is backwards and upside down and straight up and down retarded. Assuredly, I mean, I've heard crazy, bizarre stories, just out of this world, mind-numbing stories about child support. Alright? I've heard of people owing thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for children who are not their children. I've heard of people, basically getting the business, getting their license taken away, getting their livings taken away. Why? Because they're behind on child support. Probably one of the best examples is DMX, right? Who knows the countless thousands of dollars he's paid to his children already? Yet still, he's placed in jail due to running behind on some payments. Alright, put into jail, and it don't make sense because while he's in jail, he cannot earn money. He cannot earn the money to pay him, to pay y'all, to pay the government what the government is demanding from him. You begin to see why this doesn't make sense at all. Alright, there's no rehabilitation of the system that we're in, that these children are being harmed by. The only answer clearly is to get rid of the system altogether. And a lot of people, this blows their minds when I say child support should be gotten rid of altogether. They say, see, the thing is, total chaos would break out. Really? Child support has not always been around. Let's take note of that. I mean, was it complete and total chaos before it was instituted? The answer to that is no, it was not. In fact, there were more fathers in the homes at that point, way more. We're living in a fatherless society at this point. And the thing is, it goes both ways. I mean, I've heard of women who are not allowed to see their children, or at least not allowed to see them all that much. And still, they have to pay child support, large sums. Or, guess what, they go to jail. So to think that, this is all about men, it really isn't. There are women out there who can't see their children, and it's disgusting. It's disgusting because it developmentally is going to hurt the child. You gotta understand, the child is built out of DNA, right? The DNA comes from one person who's a man and one person who's a woman. That's just how it works, right? So the child basically is half of one person and half of the other person. You gotta understand, whether you're talking about mother or father, developmentally, it is ideal for them to know and be taught by one of those people, both of those people, regardless of whether or not those two people can live with each other. Right, so I want to get into this situation. I mean, this is the most typical situation. Are there exceptions? Yes, there are. I'm not speaking to those exceptions. What I'm talking about right now is the most typical situation of the mother claiming that her baby's daddy is destructive to the development of her child, and absolutely for no reason should be involved with that child's upbringing. Right? Here's what you're implying. The thing is, you don't understand what you're implying because the government, who basically stepped in place and is your baby's daddy now, the government, they've done nothing but reward you for this behavior. What you're implying is that you laid down and had all sort of sex with someone who is untrustable, unreliable, and in fact a terrible human being. A disgrace. That's what you had sex with. That's what you had sex with. You did. Yes, some people get raped. I'm talking about typically, more often than not, you chose to get naked with this person. You chose to let them go ahead and impregnate you. You chose to. So at the very least, because you gotta understand, typically, these women are not, they're not ready to accept any sort of responsibility, but what you have to understand is what you are implying is, at the very least, you are a terrible decision maker. So, if at the very least you are an awful decision maker, and this does apply to some men, when the roles are reversed, at the very least you are an absolute disgusting decision maker. And yet, still, for some reason, you should be the sole caregiver to this child. And at the same time, for some reason, this is enforced by the law. Alright, and you don't have to research very hard to see the abominable, disgusting outcomes that come from this situation from time to time. What I'm out here saying is that, a lot of these women, they consider themselves victims. They're self-appointed victims, and they'll cling to victimhood till the day that they die. They'll cling to ignorance till the day that they die, and they love it more than anything else, including their children. That's a problem. I don't see that problem resolving itself in my lifetime at all. I don't expect to see much of a big change, but I do need to be on the record about it, because someone's going to hear these words out there and understand what's in place is extremely backwards. And it doesn't matter how many thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars you pour at a child, they're still going to developmentally have issues, struggles, and obstacles to get over when you take one of their parents out of their lives. Alright? I mean, I personally know a child. Lots of y'all probably know children. I know a child right now who's not ever going to see his mama ever again. She's dead. I don't care how much money you throw at this child. Do you think that he's not going to miss his mama? You think he's not going to have some struggles because of this? Right? Do you think that a father is any less significant in a child's life for their development, is any less significant than their mother? You might think this. That is possible. However, if you do think this, you never read the Bible. If you did read the Bible, you seriously misunderstood it. Right? Lastly, I want to finish up on this. And Tommy touched on this as well. And I got to admit that I'm actually guilty of this myself. Lots of times after this lady has laid down with this man, somehow realized he is the scum of the earth later on, tries to not only get sole custody, but also thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars out of this man. Child support every month. Lots of times what will happen is she will go on to the next fella. And she will tell that next fella whatever she wants to. And guess what? That next fella will believe her. Why? The reason is this. It's what's between her legs, unfortunately. That is his priority. It's so much his priority that he'll believe whatever it is she's telling him. Right? It does not matter how much muscles this man has. It doesn't matter how manly this guy is. It doesn't matter how much money this guy's making, how, quote, successful this man is. He wants what's between her legs so much that he'll listen to whatever she says. And he'll just take her word for it. Right? And in doing so, he'll set his own self up to be in the same exact trap that the previous man was in. Why? Because he doesn't stand for righteousness. That's why he doesn't stand for fatherhood, and he himself is a man. He himself has made his choice. Like I said, you can have all sort of muscles. You can have all sort of fame, money. He himself, regardless, is a beta male. What's referred to as a beta male. He does not stand for fatherhood. In no way does he stand for Christianity. A lot of y'all might be out there saying, well, you know, she said that he's a terrible person, did this and that, and beat her up, and all this and that. Well, you know what? If he did beat her up, what exactly? If there was abuse taking place and he is a psychopath and he is that detrimental to his own child's health, what exactly entitles this woman who you're dating to his money? Why should she even want his money? She should want to have nothing to do with him. You see the game that's being played on you? I don't think you see it yet. It's being played on you. She's treating you exactly how she treated the previous. And you're expecting a different outcome. It's real funny. It's real funny. And like I said, you know, I've been guilty of it. I had nieces. One of my nieces, you know, baby daddy, I've never seen him, never met him. Assumed he was a deadbeat, but here's the thing. Who knows? I've never met him. How am I to know? So what I'm saying is that if you are dating a woman, and this is happening all over the map, if you're dating a woman and she has a child, then it is your responsibility to meet that child's father. You are not the child's father. You never will be. It's your responsibility to meet him. Had you never met him, guess what? You can't put judgment on him. Right? It's preposterous. And you're falling into the same trap that he fell into. It's not a good look. It's not very smart. Alright, anyways, that's about all I have for this right now. But I gotta hope that, you know, I've said something right now that might make you think twice about who it is you go ahead and lay down with. Right? You might, for whatever reason, want to have some sort of respect for yourself. You might want to think about your children, your future children. You might want to give a damn about them before you just go and have sex with anything. Because let me tell you something, most people in America and anywhere else on this globe, most people are going to do whatever the government tells them to do. And as the Bible says, it's really not going to end well for any of these people. And it's unfortunate. But it's the path that they've laid for themselves. They love their ignorance more than anything else. They love their own victimhood more than anything else. And they're going to end up just like everybody else, exactly where they belong. Is there a way out of this? Yes, there's a way out of this. It's called accepting Jesus. And when you do that, what you're going to do is you're going to learn more and more about Jesus and what he wants for you, the way he wants you to act. And that is the only way out. We are balls deep in the tribulation. This is May the 18th, 2016, and I'm going to holler at y'all later.